Now, in the aftermath of the pandemic, SA Fashion Week is putting its best foot forward. 27 designers are launching their autumn and winter collections this week, and they're hoping to turn heads and showcase South Africa's best fashion talent. But joining us now is designer Fikile Sokhulu and model Lethabo Khunou. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. Thank you, Fikile, for your time. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming through. And I mean, we were just making reference to the pandemic, and it seems it's still a conversation for so many because some of the, consequences of the pandemic are still felt. But for you as a designer, what did you go through? How did you overcome the pandemic?
I mean, the pandemic was very challenging. It was quite hard to work around it at first, but then you just have to find your way to push through and just find ways that are not limited to like physical connections, because that was the biggest challenge for us, like the distance and not being able to showcase and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as a designer, you just have to work through it all.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you had to be innovative, use technology.
Yes.
Did you still have a way to connect with, your client base? I don't know, suppose other stakeholders that you would like to showcase your work to?
Yes, I did. I think mostly I was present on Instagram. It was such an important platform for me to grow my brand, and from there, it just went up.
Absolutely, and here you are. I mean, you're still going to be showcasing at the Fashion Week quite soon. 27 designers. What are you looking forward most to?
I'm just looking forward to showcasing again, because this is the second time that Cruise Vodka sponsored our show. So it was a very exciting thing for us.
Yeah. And when it comes to your design and the themes you're tackling and, the kind of material you're using, take us through that creation process for you.
The main inspiration for this collection was like a black diamond, like finding that rare beauty and just in women and stuff like that. So I used like gold metallics. I used black twill, 100% cottons and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what inspires that? Because I just wonder if it's more of trends or if it's more of an idea in your head, what you're surrounded by and your experiences, or if it's more trends of what is also seen and observed internationally.
Yes, I think mostly for me it's just staying true to our brand aesthetic, like portraying a very feminine woman, a very gentle woman, with the silhouettes and the fabric manipulations and also the gatherings and just the texture of it all.
Yeah. Also, is it only for women? Are there stuff for men? Because I know I'm going to probably get this on social media. What about us? What about us?
I'm a woman's wear brand, so it's just women's. I'm just all about women's wear. Right. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I'm biased too, so I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Sorry, gents, I tried to slot you in. But I mean, let's also talk about, the work that you do in fashion and, how far you've come in with your brand, in your career. What are some of the highlights that you are so proud of still today?
I think one of the biggest highlights is just the incredible support I get from South African Fashion Week. And I've been part of the Fashion Bridges program, which happened last year, which was a collaboration of SA Fashion Week and the Italian Embassy. So I'm just really, really grateful for SA Fashion Week.
Yeah. And do you receive enough support, do you think, not only from government, but I don't know, sponsors and partnerships, collaborations? I mean, you mentioned Cruise, for example, Cruise Vodka being one of them. Do you think there's sufficient resources and support for designers in SA?
Yes, if you're willing to work very hard, yes, sponsorship will come through, because I've worked with Mr. Price before. I've collaborated with Lukanyam Dingi before, which he's also a very dominant South African fashion designer. So if you work really hard, the opportunities will come to you.
Right. And you advise them to upcoming, designers who are probably either still in school or still trying to get their skills in check and listen to our conversation right now, needing that extra oomph. What would be the best advice you would give them that you probably needed when you first started out?
I'd say stay very true to who you are as a designer, and just be very outrageous with what you want and be very specific. Just know exactly what you want, because then you'll be able to set goals based on what you want.
Absolutely. I want to also just touch on if there is a possibility in the fashion world. I'm not in one, obviously, but I just wonder, do fashion designers usually collaborate, like a brand and another brand come together and create something? Is there something that would be in the cards for you, or is it more just collaborating with either a beverage, a brand or a clothing store brand? I mean, what's the future of fashion looking like in South Africa?
I mean, hopefully there will be more collaborations. Yeah. Like I said recently, I collaborated with Lukanyam Dingi. He's also a South African fashion designer. He was showcasing at Paris, and he invited me to collaborate with one look on him. And that was a very special moment for me, because it was like a nod that I'm doing something right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think I'm very hopeful towards that direction of fashion designers collaborating more.
And I've no doubt that you guys have set the standard. That collaboration is key and it's good. Well, thank you so much, Fikile, for joining us.
Much.
And of course, showing us your beautiful garments. You can see our beautiful model there, showcasing one of the Cruise Collective beautiful, beautiful garments. Lethabo Khunou joining us, of course. Showcase that metallic, the gold you were talking about earlier. Yes. This is a beautiful, beautiful dress that, of course, you can adorn, whether you're going out to a gala dinner or you just want to make a statement. Of course, our model doing a brilliant job showcasing that for us. But that was designer Fikile Sokhulu.